Now that the trade deadline is over, we're going to be going through and making a tier list of every MLB team's playoff chances. Which teams are World Series contenders and which teams really just have no chance. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you guys are using code Century17 on SeatGeek. It grabs yourself $20 off your first purchase of 50 or more. Special thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Let's get right into it. Now, I did a short form yesterday of kind of a teaser a little bit, a few of the teams here. Let me know if you guys liked that or not. But the 5 tiers: World Series contender, the ones that are almost a lock, the ones that are borderline playoff teams, teams who just probably aren't going to make the playoffs, and then those teams that have no chance. We are going to go tier by tier once again, starting at the bottom, working our way up to the top. Starting off with the teams that have no chance, we're going to move very quickly through them because there's not much explaining needs to be done. White Sox, they sold everybody. Marlins, they really sold everybody. Rockies, they didn't sell anybody, but they still are not going to have any chance of the playoffs. Angels didn't sell as much as they should have. A's, they're better this year than they were last year, but it's still just not very good. The Nats sold off a lot of pieces, but they're going to be a fun team. The Blue Jays, man, how far we've come. They sold off. They actually got a pretty nice return on a lot of pieces. And then I didn't want to put them here, but I think I got to put the Tigers here after they sold off a lot of pieces. They could have been pretty close to maybe being in the wild card if they had kept everyone. But selling was a very smart move on their part. The Reds, I put them down in that tier yesterday. They sold off pieces. They're a weird team. They don't really have a chance anymore, especially with how many teams are between them now. The teams that probably are not going to make it, in my opinion. The Rangers, probably not. They didn't really add anybody at the deadline, and to be honest, just not really playing well. They're not healthy at all whatsoever. Marcus Semion's not giving them a good year at all. It's just not really in the cards for them right now. I really don't think the Diamondbacks are going to make the playoffs. Their deadline was kind of what we thought they were going to do. Like, it's almost like their offseason was their trade deadline where they brought in so many guys. Problem is, other teams improved. They did, and it's not looking pretty for them right now. The Cubs probably not going to make it. They're honestly almost in the no chance. They kind of did a buy-in sell, just kind of gathering talent, as Passan put it. I don't think the Pirates are going to make it. They can make a serious push because they have that rotation, and they brought in a couple of pieces who might perform well for them, IKF and Brian De La Cruz. I just don't know if I see it, man. I'm not going to give the Giants no chance. They had the weirdest deadline. They probably could be in the no chance category. And yeah, we're going to move them down there. They probably deserve to be there. So a whole third of the league, no chance. Rays, probably not. They sold off a lot of pieces, but just because they're the Rays and because their record's not even horrible, I'm not going to say no chance. They probably won't make it, though. Feels weird and almost kind of rude to do this, but the Mets, probably not. I don't know. They feel like they could probably be in borderline as well. We'll see if we move them up in a sec. Teams that are borderline to me, the Red Sox. Someone commented on the short yesterday and said there's no way the Red Sox make it. I think they have a decent shot. I know they didn't have the best of deadlines or anything, but I still think that they have a decent shot with what they have right now. A pretty nice rotation, and their offense could even get better. I think the Mariners are more borderline than anything. They held the lead in their division for a while, but they're really just not playing good baseball for a very long time now. They don't really hit, but they had a pretty decent deadline. I feel like we have to put the Twins in borderline because there's just a lot of teams in the AL who are going to be right around them. Red Sox, we'll get to a few more, Astros, Royals, people like that. And they only made one trade. They brought in a reliever. That's literally it. Felt like they could have gotten a bat. I think the Cardinals should go borderline. I think that they're definitely a tier below a couple of teams who I have in almost a lock. But they made improvements. I liked the Tommy Pham, the reunion with him. I liked the Eric Fedde move. Getting rid of Tommy Edman was fine because he hasn't even been part of your equation for a while. I think they had a fine deadline. I want to see if they can make a run. I like that. They kind of have a lot of juice right now. They're playing fun ball. Let's move up a tier to the teams that are almost a lock. I think that we still can put the Braves in this tier. Calling the Braves a borderline playoff team just doesn't sound right. I think that they're definitely a tier above these 4. I want to put the Guardians in this tier. I don't want to put them in World Series contender yet because I don't think they have the rotational depth to do so. Their pitching rotation scares me, and it feels like a thing that could fall apart really at any moment now. Not loving the Guardians right now, but best record in baseball really right now speaks for itself. I know I'm being harsh, but come on. It's not the greatest roster. I liked the Lane Thomas move, but at this point in the season, the Astros, how far they've come to catch up to the Mariners and now where they're at now, feels like they are almost a lock to make the playoffs. Royals feels weird, but I know they've only got a couple games on the Twins right now. I think it's 2 games. But their roster just feels like better, weirdly enough. I don't know. They made the improvements the Twins didn't. I think the Royals, have a better chance right now. Padres, that's who I put in that short yesterday as almost a lock. I think that they definitely have a real chance. That back end of that bullpen is nasty, and they just have a bunch of position players who can play. I think they've got like 7 infielders who are all going to have to play at some point. The last one for this tier, I'm going to put the Brewers. They also made very, very marginal upgrades. Frankie Montas was nice. They brought in a couple of relievers. That's about it. I think that they're going to be fine. I don't know if they really did the move that puts them over the top to be a World Series contender. I think there's 4 teams that go in World Series contender. Yankees, dude, they had a really nice deadline. Jazz Chisholm is playing like a star now that he's in a bigger market. Go figure, it's what I said. Dirty Birds, they're young, they're fun, but they are dominant, and they made some bullpen moves. They swapped a couple relievers with the Phillies. Like the Phillies sent Gregory Soto and Anthony Dominguez over to Baltimore. Austin Hayes, they get rid of him because they don't need him at all. Trevor Rogers, Zach Eflin. You could tell this was the team that was trying to make moves that would put them towards a World Series. Give up Connor Norby, like number 15 prospect in baseball. Well, in the old pipeline. Dodgers definitely go in here. Their lead is dwindling. I believe it's only 4.5 between them and the Padres right now. But you got to think this team is going to be getting back Mookie Betts, Clayton Kershaw is here. Like Mookie's the biggest one. They're only going to get better. Prayers for Freddie Freeman's family, by the way. If you guys didn't see that, his son's got some kind of bad illness right now. Then the last one that goes in World Series contender, I got to put my fight in Phils. I know they're going through it a little bit right now. They start a West Coast trip tonight. I liked the moves that they made. I think that they upgraded the bullpen in 2 spots, and I think they got an everyday left fielder in Austin Hayes. Let me know what you guys thought. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a blessed day. Enjoy the baseball. Keep God first. Have a great day.